very, 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 very happy that everybody's here. It makes me feel really good. And I just wanted to tell you something. On Thanksgiving Day this year, I got my first day pass to come home, Mommy, which I was really, really happy about. And Rich picked me up at Lyndhurst, and we got in the car, and I said, I'd really like a very nice cup of coffee before we go home. So he took me to Ideal Coffee on Yonge Street, and my wheelchair was in the trunk of the car, because I wasn't really walking yet, so Rich was just going to go in and get us some coffee and bring them back to the car. And I said, we magically, somehow, we always got a parking spot right in front of where we needed to be. And I said, I think I'm going to walk in with you. So he puts his hand out and holds my elbow and brings me in like he's presenting me at court. And he got our coffees, and we sat down and sat across from each other, had a cup of coffee on a Saturday afternoon. And Rich said, look at us just sitting here like two normal people having a cup of coffee. And I said, I've never once during this entire time felt or thought the words, oh, I'm so unlucky. Never once. And Rich said, no, I haven't either. All I've thought is, we're so lucky. And that is the truth. We feel nothing but lucky. And I'm just going to speak for myself for a second, even though Rich and I have been a team since the very beginning. I feel lucky to have such an outstanding husband who not only stayed with me every single night that I was at St. Mike's, but felt so lucky when in the waiting room he managed to get the couch instead of having to shove two chairs together. That was a good night for him. He took care of absolutely everything while I was at Lyndhurst and still managed to find the time to write brilliant email updates to all of you, or I hope all of you, to let you know what was happening with me. And sometimes I would text Rich at 5 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, and he would write back, what should we do? Because we were in this together, which meant that even when I was feeling a little bit low sometimes, I was never alone. I feel lucky to have very strong and loving parents and two amazing sisters who would fight over who could bring me stuff. I feel lucky to have friends and family who sent me books and chocolates and flowers and texts and emails, in particular first thing in the morning when they knew that was when I was feeling my lowest and I needed some words of encouragement. I feel lucky to have friends and family who rubbed my feet and pushed me in my wheelchair like it was completely normal, and made picnic lunches for me and my family, and brought me tuna sandwiches. I feel lucky to have friends who, either by happy coincidence or design, flew here to be with me. And to every raccoon who didn't eat the treats and challahs and entire dinners left for us on our doorstep by loving neighbors and friends, I feel lucky for them too. And I feel lucky to have two extraordinary sons who, even when I didn't know you were looking, would say, oh, you're going so much faster today, Mom. You look normal today, Mom. And in particular, I'd like to point out my wonderful surgeon cousin, Joel, who told me that as long as I could wiggle my toes after surgery, I would be okay, and I did, and I am. And maybe if, Joel, you wouldn't mind passing along this to Dr. Ginsburg, who was my brilliant neurosurgeon, with all due respect, Joel. Surgeons in general do not have a particularly good bedside manner, but Dr. Ginsburg did something very, very nice to me, other than perform brilliantly on my back. Right before I had the surgery, he knew that I was scared, and he came over and he just rubbed my arm as if to say, I will be okay. And that simple, thoughtful gesture meant an awful lot to me. And all the other simple, thoughtful gestures that followed are what helped put me back together again. And for that, I feel very, very lucky. And I thank you all, and I love you all. And that's all. you may continue eating and drinking. Please.
Okay, you're right.